And I guess that's kind of an open question to either coach, but I'm gonna toss it to you first, amateur noob, just because I already asked you the first question. So yeah, any hidden techs that you wish you'd had the chance to break out today?
Um, yeah, we didn't get a chance to play Viego in the jungle. I think that would have been pretty fun. That's probably uh, our jungler's uh, best carry pick. I think that would have been really fun. But we've just kind of gravitated towards the Maokai, so that didn't happen. But um, look out for that next time.
The Maokai has been interesting in the team fights. He's had a rough early game, but he's really been able to turn it around in these like skirmishes around Dragon.
Hmm.
So I do like the pick. I'm gonna toss the same question to you, Fish. Any text that you were cooking up that you're a little bit disappointed didn't get to see the light of day that you want to like highlight, pat yourself on the back for coming up with?
I mean, we would have loved to play Thresh. We would have loved to play Jax too, and everything you banned, you know. Yeah. I mean, Akali was definitely a comfort pick, but when we're considering our own draft comps and things like that, we thought that Akali would be a permaban, so that kind of came out the way that we thought it would. I think our team right now is picking things. You know, they've had a lot of practice too, so they are picks that our team has practiced. I'm pretty excited to see how they do since they have practiced these champs.
Okay, okay. Anyone, either of you surprised by some of the prio that certain champions have had? Like I've seen the Ziggs, the MF, or the Triss, the MF, the Victor have all been very high prio picks, either in bans or in terms of grabbing them first. Any of those come out as a surprise, or are both of those like, oh yeah, these are exactly what my notes indicated would be three high present champions?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for us, it was not a surprise because we have like a shared champ pool basically. When we're just kind of comparing picks between mid and also ADC.
Okay, okay. What about you, amateur noob? You started to throw out an
yeah.
answer.
I think Leona has emerged as a priority pick between both teams. It's won both the games, and I think that's uh, we're happy to have that this game.
That's a good highlight, actually. I should have highlighted. Leona has been very powerful in these games. She's been able to get that lockdown, get that guaranteed damage that I think has been really hard for the other team to avoid. I see that we're loading in now, but I guess we're still like 3 minutes out. Yeah, there's still that delay going. I'm trying to see if there's anything more I can milk out of you for content before I let you both go.
Team Zon's gonna win.
Na na
Love to
na,
see.
Demacia.
I love to see
I
some of that
believe in my
confidence.
team.
Fish threw out some flame earlier on that you didn't answer in the
Huh?
first interview you did. What do you mean, huh? My top
Wait, what?
laner's better.
Yeah, my top lane is just better. Have you
Okay,
seen
I
Lane?
okay.
was
Weren't you casting? Hello?
I don't know. I saw Team Zon's top laner do some pretty spicy things in both games.
Yeah, Lyvern's scaled, you know, on the Kale, so we can't let him scale anymore.
that's right.
That's why he caught 4 bans, 3 bans.
Yeah, it's about sending a message sometimes, you know?
Okay, okay. Well, the message is pretty loud and clear. Um, I noticed he was a little bit unhappy about that in the team game in the pre-game chat. Hopefully that doesn't affect the mental too much in game. Um, yeah, any final words to the spectators from both coaches? I'll let you go. I started with you, amateur news. I'll let Fish go first, and then I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, I think this one will be a fun one to watch because it's a kind of different team comp. I think we've seen a lot of more front to back team comps. Now this one is, at least on our side, is a little bit less of that. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how my team plays this out and yeah, if they're kind of implementing some of the things we talked about.
Yeah, toss it to you, amateur noob. Any last words? That sounds ominous. Any final thoughts before the game?
Yes. I think yeah, it's been really fun. I'm glad we got to play some games today. It's way better than solo queue. So uh, props to everybody for putting it together.
Thanks so much. And I'm hoping both of you have fun hoping that the regardless of the outcome, everyone's teams and coaches are able to feel like they were able to give it their all and really show off what the work they've been putting in. Because I know that both teams have been testing stuff out, getting to know each other, and I appreciate you guys participating, and wouldn't be possible without people actually participating. I see that we're almost loaded in. We're 17 seconds away from the spectator delay running out. So yeah, I'm going to let both coaches go back to being viewers, and we will load into the game in, I mean, not literally 1 second. The delay is timed out now, but we obviously have the load in time. I will start streaming that. And we will, yeah. Unfortunately, there will not be the objective timers because I wasn't able to get those squared away before the thing started. But we will, like I said, we'll be going based off of vibes, and sometimes vibes are better than concrete information that actually tells you how the state of the game is going. Like, I mean, this is a pretty vibes based game, if I do say so myself. We that is what we go off of most of the time when we're playing League of Legends. But yeah, so we're loading in, looking to see how both teams start. We've seen the 5 points in a lot of games. Looks like this time we're gonna start out with a bit of a spicier thing. Looks like Tristan Braum are both sneaking directly off the bot. Gonna see if that becomes anything. Leona and MF are just queuing up for the 5 point, so doesn't look like they're gonna answer. Okay, no, Trist and Braum are just gonna go to their normal positions. So nothing too spicy is gonna happen, it looks like. I'm mostly just watching right now to see if either of the junglers get spotted out, because that has been happening in these games. Looks like blue side doesn't see where red is. Red side doesn't see where blue is. So there we go. We are not in the moment able to
Minions have spawned.
they don't have that vision yet. They don't have, let's see. Looks like Maokai is not getting spotted out. Yeah. We don't have that vision yet, so we're going to see what happens as we continue. They don't know where both junglers are starting. They are able to... Red side, Team Demacia, is able to get... I see that there is a random lag spike. I'm not streaming the right window. Well, thank you for that heads up. That's weird. I started to stream the right window. Okay. Well, now we're seeing what's happening in the game. Looks like the Team Demacia was able to get control of the waves because they did not leash, so they are going to have that advantage. We have been seeing the level 2s get kind of spicy for we have been seeing the level 2s get kind of spicy. So we're going to see if that becomes anything. You can see Maokai is on the back end, so see if that becomes anything. There is hovering bot side. We'll see if that becomes anything. Doesn't look like it is right now. We do see the level 2 come through for Team Demacia. They're going pretty aggressive. They're gonna force the flash and ignite from Leona and force the heal from MF. So that is a bit of a rough start for them. But see if they're able to recover. Right now, level 2's coming through. They don't really have any pressure, but yeah. Seeing the Maokai and the Garen and the Mordekaiser duking it out. See the Nunu coming in. This is looking like it could be first blood. Lyford sidesteps the bubble, but I don't think he has any... yeah, he's going to go down. So that's a good first blood down to the Garen. A very masterful gank from the Nunu. I don't think it was expected so early in the game. He did clear topside immediately and then go for the gank. Didn't even go path towards bot yet. Now he's invading. So Maokai's going to have to watch for that because Nunu didn't really lose any HP. Looks like he's just going to get the ward then walk away, but that probably will spot out Maokai. So they'll get vision on him in a couple of seconds once he starts to head down towards bot side. If he chooses to head down toward bot side. We'll see where he chooses to go after completing his first clear. Nunu is still on his first clear. MF is getting chunked out again, so that's something she's gonna have to struggle with. She doesn't have any health potions left, so she's in kind of a rough position. I think she's gonna have to take a bad back sooner or later. Tristana does still have that all-in threat, especially with the Braum passive. So it's dangerous to stay in lane with HP this low. We're gonna start to see Nunu's going up towards mid. Looks like he's he's just killing the Scuttle. See what's happening in mid. Looks like some trading is going on. Veigar's getting the worst end of it, but down about 10 CS. I think that's about what we'd expect at the beginning of the game. Veigar does have a little bit of a rough time. Early on, Ahri has some of that pressure because of her ability to self-sustain and poke with her abilities. Yeah. But we're looking towards the... I think we're probably looking towards mid lane for that early game excitement happening once the level 6 starts to come in. Veigar has managed to soak up more XP despite being down farm, so that is something to watch out for, because Veigar with his level 6 can do a lot of unexpected damage if you're not being careful and respecting it. Mordekaiser was able to crash a pretty big wave, not making up the gold deficit from that gank, but is able to kind of punish Garen a little bit there. Veigar is going to crash this wave. I suspect he's going to have to reset soon. He's pretty low mana. Unfortunately, I don't have the gold graphs up. That's another thing I wasn't able to configure in time. But Veigar is a little bit out of position. He's going to get caught out. Going to see if the Ahri can follow up the charm damage. That is probably going to be a dead Veigar. No, he manages to walk out. Flash is used, though, and he's probably going to have to TP back. So that's going to be 2 sums down for him. Meanwhile, Mordekaiser's getting a pretty good trade-off against the Garen. Garen's a little bit too scared to walk up to this wave. Hitting it zoned off and lose that farm. Meanwhile, in bot lane, there is some ward clear in action coming out. CS lead is exactly the same amount of CS, and that was less exciting than I thought it was going to be. Thought there was going to be a skirmish. Mordekaiser and Garen are duking it out. Mordekaiser gets that level 6 before Garen does. Isn't able to lock him down and get him in the Shadow Realm. I think it's called the Shadow Realm. If it's not called the Shadow Realm, I'm going to call it the Shadow Realm. Get him in that Shadow Realm. So it's a little bit unfortunate for the Mordekaiser, but he does get a little bit of an advantage there. So he's probably not too upset about that. Dragon is up now. So that is an objective we're going to have to see which team can get prio on it first. Right now in bot lane, MF and Leona do have push, but they probably going to have to concede that before too long. And Leona kind of had natural push anyway. Yeah, it looks like it's going to push out towards MF. So they're going to lose that prio that they had. Both jungles are up towards top side, so I don't expect any action to happen on the Dragon for a couple of moments anyway, but I'm keeping my eye on that. Nunu's pathing through bot or through jungle through mid. I think he probably gets spotted by that minion. I'm not 100% sure, but he's gonna clear down bot side, and then I expect to see a little bit of an attempt towards Dragon start to get made once they are able to get this wave pushing in. Chris does have the item advantage, but both ADCs are pretty low on items. Okay, Nunu's just gonna reset. Nothing's gonna happen with Dragon. Herald's coming up in a couple of minutes. So once that's online, I think you start to expect to see the Herald for Dragon trade that is uncommon. See some pings happening towards it, so people are aware that Dragon is up. Yeah, gonna be a reset for Trist. MF and Leona are gonna clear. Probably ship out this wave and then reset. Top lane, we see our 2 bruiser champions kind of duking it out over the wave. Lyvern did put down that ward after the first gank, so he's trying to do his due diligence, make sure it doesn't happen again. I think with a Nunu, you still have to be a little bit respectful, just because he does have such a powerful gank from really far away. Lyvern's getting chunked out. That's a little bit scary against the Garen with his ultimate, because once you get below that threshold, he can just whip it out and kill you. So you do have to respect that. Braum is in a little bit of a dangerous position here. I'm not sure he's going to get caught out. There is the Ahri shadowing him, so he's going to be able to walk out safely. Leona's going to get charmed. I don't think it's going to become anything, because there's not really any follow-up damage. But you do have to start to wonder if something is going to blow up in a couple of minutes, because there are these objectives up on the map now. and I expect that both teams are going to want to try and secure them. So there's going to be a contest of who can get prio first, who can really force their way, start getting these early game advantages that can be so impactful in games like this. Okay, we start to see Nunu hovering around bot side. I'm curious if they can go for this tower dive. If they can get a kill here, that would really start to get Tristana ahead in terms of gold and plates. Looks like they're not going to go for it. So I can respect them respecting that. They are going to get the Braum passive, and the burst damage on Leona going to force the heal out of MF. So yet again, that summoner is down. If you wanted to start trying to look for something, this would be a good time. They get the wave crashing. They're going to get this plate in bot lane. So Tristana is starting to hit her win condition of crash waves, get plates, that you do start to love to see on these Tristana games. Garen is going to punish Mordekaiser when he walks into this bush. Excuse me. Let's take a look at what's happening in mid lane. Looks like Veigar has been forced under tower. He has no mana, and he's down 20 farm. So he's not feeling too happy about that. Let's check on his stacking. Just a 49 stack, so that's something he can start to feel a little bit good about. And that's a lot of extra AP for a champion to have. Veigar does have... Okay, we see the Leona come down. They're not able to really pin anyone down. Maokai is maybe going to go down here. Maokai does end up going down. So that should be the dragon for Team Demacia, who got off a pretty good early roam there. Pretty good early check there. So yeah, they're going to get 4-man the dragon, get that down, got the kill bot side. But, you know, we're going to start to see if they can turn some of these advantages into bigger advantages, as you do with advantages in the game of League of Legends. But we have our little bit of our top lane honorable duel that happens up there. No one's gotten a kill yet, but they have been trading back and forth, really duking it out over these waves. And you can kind of see where the CS leads are starting to grow, right? So you see the 20 CS lead coming in for the Garen. Mordekaiser's been forced off, and he was really punished for getting first blooded earlier on. You start to see the same thing coming through for the Veigar, who's not as behind, but is, you can tell he's starting to suffer from getting forced out of lane over and over again. Gonna get hit by this Nunu again, probably get charmed by the Ahri. This should be a kill. I'm not really sure if Veigar can outplay it. Oh, he does manage to dodge the bulk of the damage, and there just wasn't enough to kill him this early in the game. But that flash is forced out yet again. He doesn't have teleport, so he's going to choose to stay in lane. We'll see if he ends up regretting that. But Leona's going to stay to help him force out this wave, so he should be pretty safe to do this. But that does mean MF is going to have to be a little bit careful. The support is also roaming for Team Demacia. But, yeah, we're going to start to see where these advantages can come in. Garen, I think he's in the Shadow Realm. I'm not really sure what's happening here. I think, yeah, that was the Mordekaiser ult coming out. I've never seen that in spectator mode before. I wasn't aware that you don't see the I don't know, circle or something, but yeah, so Mordekaiser did ult, was not able to secure the kill on Garen. Garen still has his ult, so if he's able to get Mordekaiser low, he could really punish him here. Mordekaiser chooses to flash instead of continuing the trade. I think that was a smart choice. He didn't really have the damage left to continue fighting that Garen, especially with his amount of CS he's down anyway. This is going to be a dead Braum, so this is the first kill coming out for Team Zon. Able to secure some of that gold when they'd been losing it around the map a lot, getting a little bit down. Zenith's Blade isn't going to connect. Good attempt. If that had landed, there might have been a chance to get some damage out on the Tristana, but we see the Maokai starting to take some of the jungle from the Nunu, but the Nunu is taking the Herald, which is probably a better trade than Gromp. Gromp is, of course, an amount of gold that is not a zero amount of gold, but is probably a lower amount of gold than the amount of gold that you get from taking Herald. We see the Nunu rolling his way down, seeing the ward, choosing to take that ward, gonna clear up some of this vision for blue side. I actually wanted to highlight, I've appreciated the efforts that
Turret plate
blue side has made with their vision following the first game, where they really, you could see they were playing in the dark for a lot of that game, and in subsequent game, in game 2, this game, are putting more of a concerted effort are seeing more of a concerted effort from Team Demacia to make sure that they can see the map and make sure that they're not getting caught out and forced into these uncomfortable positions. Good trade from Veigar, able to match the Ahri damage. We see red team setting up a trap. Curious if anyone's gonna walk into it. They seem to have the suspicion that something is there, but there's not really any follow-up damage. Leona is gonna go down. Maokai is too far away to really make sure that to really follow up on that play, and that's just gonna be a kill for nothing. Ahri's gonna take some poke from the Veigar. Veigar's gonna get some more stacks, but that is gonna be bot lane tower going down. MF is forced away, so she's gonna go down yet more farm and plate for the Tristana. So we're really looking to see red team accelerating that Tristana and getting her ahead, getting her out of this bot lane so she can probably start to head towards mid. Really get some damage done there. The plates are gone, but Tristana takes towers so fast. Oh, Veigar got the solo kill on Ahri while I was talking about bot lane. So that was a good play. Does manage to trade back some of those kills, and we're going to look to Veigar to start to try and get some of these leads now that he has hit that level 6, has picked up that Rod of Ages. That's really going to allow him to start to be kind of a threatening champion, start to get some damage out, start to scale, start to see some of that late game Veigar threat where he's just tanky and does so much damage that he's really hard to answer wherever he chooses to be on the map. We see the dragon is coming up in a couple of minutes, or in a couple of seconds. And by we see that, I mean it's on the mini map, because again, I was not smart. I was not able to get the configuration file fixed in time to actually have the timers up. But Dragon is live now, so we're gonna see if they can make that become anything. Leona is back mid. I think this is another dead Ahri. She's just gonna get stun locked and maybe be able to walk out, but that's gonna have to be her ultimate. So she's not gonna have that for the team fight. We see Nunu coming in, but he's gonna be a little bit late. We see Braum is gonna get locked down. They're turning on the Maokai. That might be a dead Maokai. He's gonna die to this Garen. Almost certainly. Yeah, Malphite goes down to the Garen. The MF ults, but hits nobody. Tristana jumps forward a little bit aggressively, but she's not gonna get punished for it. So Braum is really low. We're gonna see if they back off. I don't think that they have the HP bars to contest this, so they get the kill, but they might lose the dragon for it. Maokai is also dead, so no, they're not going to lose the dragon for it. I spoke a little bit too preemptively on that, but there were some big ults coming out from both sides. We see the Ahri ult forced out, and we see the Veigar and MF ult coming out. Leona ult was out too. Those are all going to be back up before too long, so they might have them back in time for the 5v5, should they choose to go for it. We'll see if they do. Going back to top lane, you can see the Garen and the Mordekaiser are continuing to trade, but that Garen CS advantage is continuing to grow. Perhaps seeing a little bit of Laverin's uncomfort on these beefier picks that he just doesn't have as much experience playing as he does with the Lilia. We'll see if he's able to continue make an impact on the game despite that. Shield comes out. Garen's eating through it. Does have the ultimate, and that's going to be a solo kill for Garen. Maokai is here, but I don't think he has the damage to really threaten Garen. And this Garen is just getting so fed. Yeah, while Maokai is up top, not really doing anything, you see the red team is taking Dragon. So that's another Dragon going over for them. Now, you don't have as big of a concern when it comes to these team fights, because unlike the first game where you saw the Dragon stacking going the way of Team Demacia, Team Zon does actually have the ability to fight these 5v5s and probably wants to take some of these 5v5s, but it's going to depend on whether or not they're able to get these gold bars or these items coming in before the next team fight. That's really going to make a huge difference. Looks like Garen's going to get this first tower, or the second tower blood. So these outers are going down. It's not the end of the world, but it does start to make some of that line of safety, push it further back for Team Zon. We'll see if they can recover from that. I like to see this Braum hovering around mid, kind of threatening, keeping the Tristana safe. Probably start to see the Veigar move towards bot in a couple of in a little bit of time when he gets the rotation timer. Because MF doesn't really want to be in that side lane. She's pretty immobile. Doesn't really have any self-peel. You can see that the teams are starting to ping that Rift Herald is coming up. And that can be a pretty significant thing. But before we do that, we're going to see this duel happening in the top lane. Mordekaiser has ulted the Garen, trying to get the damage out, but he just doesn't have it coming in, and Garen presses R, and that is all she wrote for that fight. This Garen is massive this game. He's going to be a huge problem for Team Zon if they can't shut him down. He's 4-0. He's gotten the second tower. 20 CS up, or 40 CS up. I didn't remember properly. We see Team Zon chasing him down. Maybe they can get that pick and really punish him for overextending, but it looks like he's going to be able to walk out. They might even pick up the Leona kill on the way out. MF ult is coming out. Veigar got a really good cage off. Maokai is in there, but the Braum shield is able to block the majority of the Veigar ult damage, so he's able to walk out alive. Team Zon did a really good job trying to do some damage that fight, but the damage just isn't there. Ooh, Veigar does pick up a kill. A lot of flashes coming out, but it might be worth it. Maybe they can turn on to Herald here. Ahri is splitting in bot lane, but you might just have to sacrifice that. Oh, yeah, Herald despawned. Wasn't paying close enough attention to the timer. Excuse me for that. Yeah, so we just see the map kind of go back to this low state. Both teams are moving around trying to get some wards, get some extra gold before the next objectives come up. There's going to be that, well, Baron is up, but obviously I don't think any team is strong enough to try Baron right now. Next objective is going to be that dragon. Lybra's a little bit overextended. We'll see if Garen can finish punishing him for that, or if he's going to get to walk out. He does just get to walk out, but you see how much damage Garen does when they do interact, so he's going to be a big problem unless, well, yeah, unless there's a way to deal with him, as I said earlier. We'll see if they can do that. That Braum shield is also going to be a huge problem in these team fights, really just negating so much damage from these ranged carries Team Zon has. Mordekaiser is a little bit overextended again. We'll see if he can walk his way out from this Garen, but Garen is just going to slow and damage him, and it looks like it's going to be another Garen kill. Yeah, Garen's going to continue splitting. We have Veigar on the bot side splitting, and so at this point we're kind of looking towards the Veigar to try and make some things happen this game. He does have the majority of the kills on Team Zon, and he has this Rod of Ages about to stack up to rank 10, which is going to be a big power boost for him once that comes in. Really just allow him to start doing massive amounts of damage in these team fights if he's able to be allowed to free fire. Gonna see if they can force out the Braum here. He is a little bit overextended, but his team is there to follow up, and so this might actually turn. Okay, no. Maokai is able to walk out. This is becoming a little bit of a skirmish. We see the Veigar cage coming out, followed up by the Maokai ult. Are locking people down. Braum goes down, but the backside of the fight's going a little bit poorly for Team Demacia. You see the Tristana and the Braum getting caught out, and the Ahri getting caught out. So that's 3 kills going over to 3 kills going over to Team Zon. They're able to turn that fight around, pick up a lot of gold. Garen doesn't go down, so his bounty's still in play, but they're able to get this dragon. And now we can start to see if they can turn this game around since they got that huge influx of cash. Garen's going to push down mid. I suspect he gets this, but if he overstays, he might get punished for it. They do have this MF slow, and a lot of the CC is still in place. It was coming from the Maokai Twisted Advanced and the Veigar cage, which are both still up. Even if the ults are down, the Leona ult and the Leona ult and the Maokai ult are both down. They do still have a lot of lockdown. Yeah, we see red team just kind of cutting their losses, moving away, but that was a good... Okay, I don't have the chat gun, Pirate, so you can't just message me because it's gonna show up on the screen. Where was I? The game is happening and people are doing things. MF is catching farm in mid lane now. So that is a rotation that I talked about a couple of minutes ago. Starting to get some gold back on her. Trist is still ahead, but MF being able to farm safely in mid is going to be nice for her. Able to pick up some of that gold. Ahri is farming side, still a little bit behind the Veigar. Not going to be able to close that gap as Veigar is moving up to pick down this wave. Mordekaiser is going to take some damage, but the fights between him and Garen are actually starting to get closer despite the gold advantage that Garen has. Entering a bit of a lull state, doing some, setting up wards around Baron. It does start to be that point in time when you're a little bit worried about the enemy team trying to go for that. I don't think we're really going to see massive Baron fights right now. I'm not really sure either team has the damage to actually burst it down. But feinting that can be a good way to force a fight on your terms. We see the Garen getting caught out. Oh, wait, that's got to be a pause or something. Garen got caught out. There was a bit of a disconnect there. I mean, literally, not like a disconnect between the teams. That's a little bit unfortunate. No pause came out. Not really. We don't have Chrono Break in the Summoner House School in-houses, so unfortunately, game's just gonna have to continue after that disconnect. Not sure if there's anything we can do about that. That is a one fight for. That is a one fight coming out. Mordekaiser is going to give over a kill there. Maybe that was a little bit of a handshake agreement. Make up for the disconnect. Baron getting chunked down. I'm not sure they can do this. The Garen is still around, and he's a pretty big threat. You're going to have to respect that. He does get locked down there. You see the damage coming out. Leona is... Oh, the Baron bullets are just enough to kill the Leona, and they have to peel off of Baron. Red team can't really turn this into an objective, but that was a little bit of an unfortunate play for Team Zon there. Oh, yeah, red team is going to try for the Baron. They don't have the damage to do it quickly, but Team Zon was all forced to reset, so Team Demacia will eventually burn this down and pick up the first Baron of the game. We'll see what they can get done with this. The Baron Power Play, sponsored by nobody. We don't have any sponsors for this. That is why the award is not monetary and is an icon that you will get. But, you know, that means we're not beholden to anybody either. And we don't have to worry about not saying that Red Bull tastes like shit like it does. We don't have to lie to you like the Riot Games official broadcasts do. Anyway, moving back to the game, we see Garen TPing up top. So that is going to force the Mordekaiser to have to back off of that wave, break off his push. They have Baron buff, so that push is going to be empowered for the Garen. He's not sticking with the wave, so the Baron buff is going to disappear, letting Mordekaiser clear that up. Mordekaiser is going to be forced to walk away. Garen's looking for the kill. I think he's going to be able to find it. Mordekaiser does manage to yoink him away. And so he gets to live. But the dragon is coming up. And we're going to see. The Leona misses. So the Leona misses. So that's going to be down for the next dragon fight. Tristana gets to hop away like a little bunny. And she's going to be safe. Looks like they're pinging the Garen. They want to try and do something about him before this dragon, but they're not going to be able to. And this dragon is coming up any second now. So that's going to be a bit of a split team over here. It's going to be the 4v4 instead of the 5v5 because both top laners are duking it out up top. Garen's trying to get this tower. It doesn't seem to have quite enough push, but maybe this next wave will be what he needs to get that down. Looks like it's going to be enough kill for Garen. Oh, he just barely doesn't get the execute, but he does eventually get the kill. This dragon fight is happening. We'll see if they're able to... Nunu is knocked out of his ult. Good play from Maokai. Leona is running at the back line here. We'll see if they're able to get the damage out. Braum is taking a lot of damage. Braum goes down. Tristana's also burning down. Nunu and Ari are forced out of the pit. We'll see if they're able to turn onto this thing, but Garen is just going for the Nexus Tower. He's trying to end the game, and he might be able to if no one answers him. They're just stopping the blue back, so blue team is not able to get back. Garen just took out one Nexus. He's taken out another. He is going to be slowly forced back, but only Leona successfully managed to get back to the team. We'll see if she's able to kill this Garen. She might be able to, but Garen might be able to end the game first. He does have the shield, and MF is back. Maybe together they can kill this Garen and prevent him. Yes. That is going to be the shutdown on Garen? Yes, that is a shutdown on Garen. The dragon fight, meanwhile, was continuing. Ari got very low. Maokai is still at about half health, so he might be able to get the steal. He does have to be careful, because he doesn't have his team with him. Ari is dead. And so it's just the two beefy frontliners, but Maokai does have a buddy coming to join him. Red team does pick up the dragon. Maokai and Veigar are going to try to kill the Nunu, but Nunu's just going to make his little paper ball, I think that's paper, and walk out of that. So good job from the Nunu to pick up that extra dragon, and now red team is on soul point, and blue team has no Nexus towers. There is also an open, that is what has no Nexus towers. I mean, there's an open Nexus, so you got to be wary of that Garen split push, which really can, yet again, we see Harbinger 115 is really putting the pressure through the top lane power of his picks on Team Zon. So that's going to be something they have to respect over the rest of the game. Be very careful, because Garen, if he's left alone long enough, will be able to just end. I like to see them shoving out waves. That's very important to make sure that they don't have the pressure on the towers that they really want to have, to make use of that that dead inhib and Nexus towers. Garen is hungering for blood. He's moving forward a bit. He wants to get this wave in and probably just go for the end, but Team Zon has enough people there that he's not going to be able to do that, so he's going to have to back off. See some posturing happen, but there's not really any objectives up at the moment, so we are looking for what the next fight is going to be, what the next objective call is going to be. Have Baron coming up before too long. Looks like this tower is going to go down in mid. They're going to try to get the Garen locked down, but he's not going to go down, and he's so tanky he can just eat all of those abilities without really suffering from it. Braum is caught out a little bit, has to flash, but he does get to walk out. So in the end, they get the tower and they get out. Blue team's got to go answer those waves pushing in, otherwise they're just going to lose the game. Ari's probably going to be able to pick up this tower in bot lane if the minions don't get it first. Yeah, minions got it first, so that is... Maybe if you're blue team, you're a little bit happy, because that means that there's less local gold going over to the Ari, but this is a hard game to come back in. See, the Braum is clearing up some vision, trying to overtake, or trying to get that vision score up. He does, yeah, I don't know. People are posturing and setting up vision. There's a lot of scary, there's a lot of wards for the red team over here. So they will see blue team's entire advance as this Baron is getting prepped. So we'll see if they're able to use the pressure from this call to go for the end after this fight. It's really going to come down to how can blue team execute. They get the chain CC, but they don't have the follow-up damage, especially to the Braum ult. So everyone is going to stay alive. Actually, Leona is going to be the one getting chunked. Braum does eventually go down, but it takes so long that so many of the carries on blue team are unable to really follow up, and Garen is just on the Nexus again. We're gonna see if he's able to get it. People are there, but he's not low. There's no one who can really answer him. He gets CC'd, but I think Garen's just gonna get the Nexus here. No, he's almost able to, but he doesn't have quite enough damage. We'll see if his team decides to try and finish what he started by just pushing in, but they're gonna take their time on the inhib before moving in. They don't seem confident enough, but I think they can do it. Yeah, this is probably gonna be the end of the game. Solid attempts, but it is just 1 or 2 autos away from like a Tristana. Nope. red team is not going to be able to end here. Blue team is going to just barely manage to keep themselves in this game. The Nexus has only about 270 HP, so this is a very close base defense, but it is a successful one. We're going to go back into a lull state for a moment. But this is if you are a member of Team Zond, you are on the edge of your seat right now, and you want to make sure to sweep out your base to make sure that there's no wards that Garen can TP to. I mean, obviously we as spectators can see there's no wards, but that's gonna be in the back of your head as a potential play. You want to make sure to try and push this line of vision up so Garen can't try any if I say Xpeke, is that a thing that people know? The back door? Anyway, we're going to try and make sure that there's no sketchy back doors happening this game. Because that is a thing you have to remain eternally cognizant of at this game state. Dragon is up, and Team Demacia is on Soul Point. There is also the Baron up, so Team Zond's going to have to make a choice. Do they stay in their base, or do they try and fight for one of these objectives? And if so, which one? Leona Zenith Blade goes a little bit wide, which if you're Leona, you're probably a little bit happy about, because that connected, that might be a little bit doomed. Garrett is just going for the end. We'll see if he's able to make it. They can't quite stop him before he gets to the base. He drops the ward. He doesn't quite get it, but we see the RATP coming in, and she's able to end the game. That is the series, and it is a win for the Team Demacia side.